Two Jeffs come in, only one will walk out. Tonight on Comic Book Canon. Very cryptic, I know, very cryptic. But as I said, two Jeffs will walk into the show and only one will walk out. Stay tuned for that drama when we bring our guest, Jeff from Comic Dunes. That's right, his name is Jeff. And only one of us will be allowed to be called Jeff on the show. And that's obviously not him. But you know who's allowed to be called Joe on the show? Joe, a.k.a. 360 Comics, my good friend, partner in crime, and co-host of the Canon. How are you, buddy?
I am fantastic. I'm just getting over getting sick.
Mhm.
And it's that day that like you first start to feel better. So like you feel amazing. Like you ran like a mile, like you're kind of tired still,
Yeah.
but like, you feel good.
You look good, though.
Thank you.
I mean, you've done something different with your hair. Oh, it was the water. Got it. It's definitely the water because
It's
there's
the
something
Fiji.
going on. Your skin looks fantastic. It looks fantastic.
I'm glowing.
You are absolutely glowing. And I think it's because of the guest. We were both excited about this guest. He's a good friend of yours. I just talked to him for the first time probably 10 minutes ago, and we hit it off. And now we're best friends and kind of like pushing you out.
Yeah, honestly, I feel rejected, but
it's a bit uncomfortable, but we'll all get through this together because we have no choice. You know what I mean? Because we have a show to do. We have to entertain millions of people. You realize millions of people are watching this show.
We got to do it for the fans.
Do it for the fans. Because right now we have 14 or 16 concurrents. We just went up by 2. Expecting 16. Oh, that's 16 million. That's what you taught me last week.
Oh, right. Yes.
And I forgot to put some content on the back of the, maybe at some point tonight I'll do that. I had an idea of what I wanted to do. All right, but let's just get started. It's a canon. I mean, we got some great questions for Ask Joe CBC. We got a ton of props or flops. We got a good amount of fresh from the comic shop. And we have our news. That's right. We got some decent news this week. Let's just get into it, shall we? Joe, I'm gonna take the lead.
Go for it.
Why not? I just burped too, excuse me. Hugh Jackman hints at playing multiple Wolverines in Deadpool 3. What does that mean, Joe? What does that mean? Well, talking to French outlet La Parisienne, is that a good French accent?
That was pretty good. I'm impressed.
La Parisienne, to promote his new film, The Sun, he says, yes, it will be a dual role. Again, it will be a dual role. Ryan and I have been friends for 20 years. We have a lot of fun together. We are filming this summer. That's something to be excited about, people. That's why I'm so happy to be in Paris right now and be able to enjoy French gastronomy. Gastronomy's food, I think. But we have an executive chef coming up in the show to explain exactly what that means. I'm being serious. Confirm that, Joe, please.
Confirmed.
Thank you. Because very soon I'm going to have to put myself on a strict diet to remake my Wolverine body, steamed chicken and broccoli. Now, everybody, rumor has it that Deadpool is going to be crossing multiple timelines, so it's almost safe to assume we will be seeing many cameos as well. Wolverine is set for release on November 8th, 2024. That's really not that far away, but it's no surprise that he's going to be playing multiple Wolverines. Can we get him in, whether it be the yellow costume or the tan costume? I don't care. I want him in that costume.
You know what I want more than that? More than seeing him in the yellow costume.
Oh, you want him to be Patch?
Wouldn't that be cool?
That would be amazing. I didn't even think about that. I love that idea. Absolutely.
We even just got a Patch run like a year or two ago.
That's right.
That was pretty recent. Like that could have been a little hint.
It was less than a year ago, I think, Joe. But anyways, that's a good call. That would be fun if he did Patch, if we had him in the yellow, was it yellow and blue? Is it? I don't, and then black or tan and like black. Anyways, it'd be amazing to do that. So anyways, that's some good news. We're gonna get more of that type of news. I'm excited about this because this is one of my favorite characters from Peacemaker. James Gunn teases John Economos' return to the DCU. Gunn tweeted to his good friend Steve Agee, "Happy birthday to my great friend and collaborator and peak Economos, who you'll see sooner than you think." I mean, Joe, can we see him in the Flash movie?
I mean, maybe. I mean, I think that this is probably more of a hint at what's happening in Waller, but you never know.
Well, Waller's not. Well, he says sooner than you think. That makes me think that we got Shazam coming up, we got Flash, and then we have Aquaman. Nobody's talking about Shazam. Nobody's talking about Aquaman. Everybody's talking about how great Flash is. I put my money down on Flash.
Totally possible. Anything's possible. We don't know.
We don't know, especially with the multiverse. That's gonna be our phrase for everything. Like anything is possible, especially with the multiverse, right? I mean, we could. It's in both of these like franchises, DCU, MCU. Follow with us, people. We're very quick-witted and. Anyways, moving on to our third new piece. I like this because we're talking indie news here, like indie comics that has had a lot of success. Actually, we have a new Hellboy, people. That's right. His name is Jack Kesey. He is the new Hellboy, and you can see his wonderful mug right there. Hellboy now has its third actor portraying the indie darling in Jack Kesey from Deadpool 2, and most recently cast in the Crooked Man reboot. Cassie follows David Harbour, who also followed Ron Perlman. I loved Ron Perlman. The David Harbour movie was it was okay. I didn't have a problem with it, but
the movie was worse. The movie was not good. David Harbour was great.
He was good. He was very good as Hellboy. Very good as Hellboy. I don't know anything about this guy. I'll be honest. The co-president of Millennium Media says Jack Kesey is a dynamic actor who has the ability to morph into his roles. That should be any actor, by the way. That's just saying grass is green, by the way. Just want to point that out. His talent and stature are perfect for this younger Hellboy. I was very impressed with him while working together in The Outpost, said Jonathan Younger, co-president of Millennium Media. Mike Mignola wrote the script of the reboot with his Dark Horse Comics collaborator, Chris Golden, and shooting will begin this year in Bulgaria. I know you're psyched about this. Like, I love the Hellboy franchise. I love the tone of Hellboy. I think it'll be a bit darker.
Yep.
I think it'll be a bit darker kind of rendition, but either way, let's see. Hopefully it'll work out. Because I want to see more of this character on the big screen. You know who else I want to see on the big screen in live action? We'll get to that in a moment. But Batman Beyond. I mean, come on. Yeah. WB was working on a Batman Beyond movie, though, before Gunn and Safran joined WB and DCU. We've seen the animated series here and even a movie in 1999. But recently, Jeff Schneider revealed an interesting rumor on his Hot Mic podcast. The following project was commissioned, talking specifically about Batman Beyond, by the way. The following project was commissioned by Walter Hamada. Y'all remember him as one of the vice presidents of shitty taste is basically what it was. It was, as far as I know, never reported. As of this minute, the project is in development at DC. Daniel Casey, the writer of Fast 9, wrote a Batman Beyond movie. But the catch, I love this part. I love this part. Stick with me, people. The catch wasn't that it was live action, because that was what Christina Hodson was working on. It was an animated Batman Beyond to be DC's answer to Into the Spider-Verse. That's fascinating to me. Gunn and Safran got in many projects once they arrived, including a live-action Batman Beyond held by Christina Hodson, who we would have seen Michael Keaton continue in the role of Bruce Wayne, with Michelle Pfeiffer coming back as Catwoman. This rumor's with a grain of salt, but that's quite a bit to unpack there, Joseph. Your thoughts, please.
I was 9 when Batman Beyond came out. Mm-hmm. I was the perfect age to be obsessed with that. Having grown up watching the Batman animated series and then it just leading right into this futuristic take on the whole thing.
Yeah.
And especially coming off being a big Boy Meets World fan. Having Will Friedle do the voice of Terry McGinnis. Man, I've been saying this for a few years. Having Michael Keaton, now that he's older, play an older Bruce Wayne.
Insane.
And my fan casting, Timothée Chalamet, amazing, perfect in the role. I would love to see that.
Yeah, incredible. That would be incredible. But again, this right here, though, Batman Beyond's answer to Into the Spider-Verse, that I like the sound of that. I really would like to see something like that. It's straight up copying Sony's Marvel Spider-Man take, but who cares? Again, it's super creative. Love the character. And a live action would be amazing as well. And I don't think that's completely off the table, by the way. Remember, It's a 10-year plan. There's time to flesh this all out. But right there is the news, Joe. On a scale of 1 to 10, what was that news like? How great was that news to you?
Well, we'll call it an 8.5.
That's pretty good.
Yeah. Overall good. Hellboy, possibility of some Batman Beyond, but also tinged with a little bit of like, is it still even happening? Who knows?
Listen, man. So you just reviewed the news. Drift Lord just reviewed your claim sale tonight. It was awesome. It's not a scale. It's not on a scale here, but yeah. Anyways,
it was good.
So that there ends the news. We're gonna say hello to a few people, including Drift Lord. We're gonna say hello to Nukes Comics, Dan De La Torre. What is going on with Echo? Is there an echo on our end or the character?
For a second, I could hear myself echoing from you, but it stopped. I don't know if you did something to your audio. It's not happening anymore.
Okay. By the way, Dan De La Torre gave it a 6. Shame on you, Dan. Oh, no, we shouldn't take that personally, actually. That's your opinion. It's perfectly fine. Mr. Tom Freak. We got Raw Dog Comics, Couching and Slouching with C. Bizzle. Caleb Leland, aka Cable Leland. T Shoe is in the house. Who else? We got Josh's Comics. I think I said hey, but I'll do it again. We got Coach Dale, Raising Elm Comics, 360 Comics. Who is that? Who else do we have in the house here? We got Collecting Dude. Oh, Nikita Kare. Lots of you good, fine people. We love you.
We need to do a big shout out to Collecting Dude right now because he's the reason we are having this show tonight. He is the person who introduced myself and Jeff.
Wait, me or
no,
the imposter?
Jeff with the second F silent.
Okay, let's get to that in a second. We're not there yet. You're getting ahead of yourself. Because I want to address this. Jeff, Joe told me he didn't want to come fight donkeys with me. Would you be down?
Drift Lord was going off about donkeys being like Soviet spies or something. I don't know.
Yeah, hit me up in the DMs of the Comic Book Canon Instagram. I'd like to know more information and see if my insurance covers that, but I'm interested. Yeah, definitely. All right. Here we are, guys. This is not our first guest of the year, unfortunately. But Joe, please, the introductions for this imposter.
So, I hear myself echoing again.
Just let's go.
Okay, hopefully it doesn't keep happening. But anyway, we've got a really special guest, my buddy Jeff, aka Comic Dunes. This guy's been working in the comic book space for over a decade now, both as a solo comic book dealer and for some of the biggest comic book retailers and auction houses on the East Coast. Let's welcome Jeff, aka Comic Dunes.
What's going on, Jeff? I guess, and Joe, you can refer to me as Bizarro Jeff, I guess, for the time being.
Sure.
Yeah. So, hi. Thanks for having me. It's awesome. It's super cool.
In all seriousness, it's a pleasure having you. I feel like we've hit it off. We've known each other for 20 minutes.
Best 20 minutes of my life.
Yeah. It's like you're my best friend now.
Oh, absolutely. I hope that we stay in contact right after this. And if you want to cut Joe out and we can go Jeff and Jeff, I'm happy.
It's that easy. It's a click of a button, really.
I wish I knew what you were doing so I can take control too in case I want to just cut him out. Well, there it is, guys. I'm in charge of the show. So there you have it. Comic Book Canon. I'm
No. Can't do that.
Oh, God.
And Joe will get mad. I got to put him back on the top.
No,
it is an absolute pleasure to have you on. Before we get into this, because as our audience knows, we are harsh in terms of our interview process. We don't let anybody just come in and kind of become a guest co-host on the Canon, right? You're in front of millions of people, okay? Yeah, we have a standard, and you got to pass this. To us, it's a simple test. Most people have problems with this, but before we do, tell us about what you do, your channel, anything you want to promote. Let's get everybody following at Comic Dunes. Should probably change that right there at Comic Dunes. I'll fix it at Comic Dunes on the Instagram.
But on Instagram, on eBay, it's comicdunes.shop. We'll be getting some more stuff up there. On Whatnot as well, Comic Dunes, pretty much the same handle across every platform.
Okay, you want to talk about anything you do, or is that?
Yeah, no. So
just your
absolutely,
socials?
yeah, no. We play around with
Jesus,
comics,
interviews already
collectibles,
fucking
man.
starting up.
Dude, I'm waiting to get kicked off. Like I told you, I heard that this is a thing, and I want to set the record.
There it is.
I think this is. I hope this is correct because he's not coming back.
Yeah.
So I hope that's the right handle, everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, let's just give him.
What was up with that guy?
All right, hats like a switch. Let's turn this baby on. Let's go.
Oh,
Over the top. That's my over the top reference. I hope you guys get that.
So Jack. Oh yeah. But hey, you son of a bitch. Is it at Comic Dunes right there? Is that right?
It is. It is at Comic Dunes.
Okay.
Thank you for fixing that. I had to poke a little fun with the silent F from earlier. But no, so we sell comics, video games, action figures, anything from $1 book to, six-figure items. I've sold six-figure video games, working like Joe had mentioned in some high-end space. But now I do a lot of private deals and a lot of streaming on Whatnot. Kind of find like a nice little happy home there, and it's enjoyable. I like the 15-second auctions.
You're quite entertaining because I stopped in earlier just to do my research on you.
Sure.
This week, and it was satisfactory. It was okay, right, Joe? That's how we would put it. Am I right?
Yeah, I can deal with it.
Yeah. Okay.
You have some improvement to make. It's more of a personality type thing, and you have to get more smarter. You know what I mean?
Makes sense.
More smarter.
Yes. More smarter.
Yeah. So it's important, but all right. So I'm not sure. I got to know your level of if you're like a little bit nervous about this interview process. If
a little bit. Interviews get me nervous typically, regardless of who's handling them. Yeah. And I don't perform well on tests or interviews, so we'll see.
Okay, that's fair. So we're
below average test taker.
We're gonna get into it, and before Jeff probably gets kicked off, please follow him at Comic Dunes on Instagram, and any other social media entity. I'm sure Whatnot, all that good stuff.
Yeah, Instagram, Facebook, Whatnot. Again, eBay, comicdunes.shop. The only thing that changes there.
Okay, perfect. All right, so we're just gonna get Joe. Are you ready for this interview? I mean, this is your first interview.
It is on this side, at least.
Okay. Joe, you're going to get the second question if we make it that far.
Sounds good.
So, Jeff, you have 2 children. One is the age of 5. One is the age of 2. They're
Yes.
starting to get interested in these big media properties. Obviously you got Sesame Street, but the superheroes kind of seep in at this point in their lives. They kind of recognize these characters. So I'm going to ask you right now.
Sure.
And this is, don't ask your children. That's cheating. I'm going to straight up ask you right here. Between these 2 properties, which one will you choose? We're going Paw Patrol or PJ Masks. One more time before you answer. Okay. Paw Patrol or PJ Masks?
PJ Masks all day. It's close.
Oh,
that's so ridiculous.
So I actually disagree with you.
No, listen, here's the deal. With Paw Patrol, they are running an entire city. You got a fireman, you got a policeman, you got a guy that drives on water. What else do you have? Hold on. Oh, a guy that he drives a bulldozer. The woman there is helicopter, and then the husky there, she drives some sort of snow vehicle. So you're covered for anything you need in this city that they're in, and I can't remember what the city is, but yeah, you're back. Explain yourself.
That's a great point, but you know what it is? These guys, we're big with superheroes in our house, right? We have the playset as well. The playset's interactive.
Which
3-piece
PJ
team.
Masks?
Yeah, man. PJ Masks.
So's Paw Patrol. You're making it sound like come on.
Yeah, but do you like a superhero dog? It's like I have an actual pit bull. He doesn't have a cape. He doesn't drive a truck. He doesn't do any construction at all.
I've never met a guy that can climb walls, but I've been reading Spider-Man my whole life.
He got me there.
Did you just raise your voice to my friend Jeff?
It was elevated. It was slightly elevated.
I'm gonna kick you off.
He spoke to me like his name was Joff.
But where are you? There we go. All right, so anyway,
nice.
we just replaced Jeff with another Jeff because honestly, that was rude and uncalled for. So this Jeff is going to be our new co-host,
Bizarro Jeff.
Yeah, we've taken over the canon. We're ready to fire on all cylinders. New World Order, whatever you want to call it.
That's it. That's it. PJ Masks.
This is off the rails, guys. Let's bring him back in, okay? Let's bring him back in. I'm gonna set it up here. You were at one point an executive chef.
Yes, I was. Prior to my life in the
way,
comic book space.
I want everybody to keep this in mind. Jeff, we do have an instant replacement for you. Dan De La Torre has been on the show. If he's not the Tom Hanks, he's probably the Paul McCartney of the comic book canon.
Okay.
So just stay in your lane.
But didn't they replace Paul McCartney with another Paul McCartney? Wasn't that a thing? Like the real Paul McCartney's dead.
Take this guy off. He's just not.
I don't know what that. Like honestly,
Google that, guys. Go Google that.
We can't be unified around this though.
He's dropping conspiracy theories.
Somebody used the G for Jeffrey. Like,
get him out of the room.
I wish I could. Tishu, I love you. You've been watching us for years, but Jesus, that's no. You cannot do that. We're really off the rails tonight. Like seriously. All right. So I'm setting this up. As I said, Jeff. True or false? You were at one point an executive chef.
True.
Okay, so Joe, let's set it up. Ask the question.
This is a very important question.
Uh-oh.
Your life depends on it. Your life here on Comic Book Canon, at least.
Fair enough.
We're not going to kill you. Maybe. Who is the most famous chef in the world?
Oh my God, I don't know. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Julia Childs. I'm just going to throw that out there. I'm wrong.
Wait. You're not serious with that answer.
No, I'm completely wrong. Right. I have been out of the game for a long time, so I don't know that answer.
It's obviously
Julia Childs.
It's obviously. I mean, he's in grocery stores everywhere.
Oh my God. Bronzeville Comics said it before you put that up.
Jim? That's outstanding.
We got to bring him back.
We really do. I mean, he's an alumnus on the canon. He knows how this works.
Yeah. Wow.
But yeah, it is Chef Boy RD. Joe, it was nice. Again, you tried bringing in the best guest we could possibly have.
Man,
it was just...
I thought he'd. Man, I gotta delete his. I gotta block his number now.
Yeah, absolutely. Real awkward. We should actually report him to somebody, whether it be Instagram. Actually, every platform he's on, we should probably report him. This is inappropriate. This is honestly, this is a mark on you for bringing him in. All right, let's give him one more chance here.
I'm a little bit disappointed in myself. I'm keeping my own tally. I'm 0 for 2 right now.
Oh yeah, because we've only asked 2 questions. So
yeah, no, this is going very bad. As bad as it probably could go.
Joe, I'm going to give you the opportunity to ask it. If you want to, I'll do it. I'll be happy to do this next one.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to need to know. As far as it goes,
Joe, I'm coaching you here, but just say it how it's written. That's it. Don't give any context or anything.
Knicks or Sixers?
Knicksers.
That doesn't even make sense. Like Jesus Christ!
It's not even a team.
I mean, our country was 1776. The Sixers are named after 1776. Like Jesus, it's America. Red, white, and blue are the colors right there. Look at that. Basketball history.
The Knicks are named after something that you don't want to happen when you're getting a haircut.
I don't know what that means. I
or
never put any thought
what?
into that. But this is awful. Like this has been one of the worst moments in comic book canon history.
I'm about done with this guy.
I'm
exhausted. We are the hottest team in the NBA right now, gentlemen. We've run, I believe, 7 in a row.
I would say the hottest team is the Heat, actually.
Well, we've won 7 in a row. We just beat the Heat.
but they're hot. Get it?
They're red hot.
The Heat.
Oh my gosh!
This guy.
Jeez.
Yeah, people are calling off the hook.
That's it. They want to replace one of us. Probably me.
Listen, but here's the deal, though. The correct answer is
Harden is 76 pounds overweight.
I am blowing up.
Get this guy off here with the phone ringing.
I'm sorry. I had a thought. It's obviously the Sixers because I could give you one name that will prevent you from ever having any sort of legitimacy in the NBA.
Sure.
Dolan.
I knew it. Yeah. Yep.
Dolan.
All right.
So anyway, you see, huh?
I said, let's get to question number 4.
That's it. That
Don't
was it.
defend
You're
it. Like,
0 for
You
3.
incorrectly assumed that there was a question number 4, so now you are 0 and 4, even though we only had 3 questions.
I like
is
that. Can I get a
ridiculous.
mulligan then on that one or something?
No, you don't get any preferential treatment whatsoever. We're gonna move on the show, though. I feel sorry for you. I think everybody else here feels sorry for you. Mark Lineker, less an interview, more a circular firing score. We all did get kicked off, actually.
It's good.
Oh God, that's awful.
Mission.
All right, no, Jeff, you're fun. Congratulations, you're moving on as a guest co-host on the Comic Book Canon. You're going to be eligible for a Comic Book Canon varsity jacket that we'll never produce, but you're entitled to if we ever do. And you can always brag to everybody whenever you go live. Hey, by the way,
see this?
I was a guest co-host on Comic Book Canon. Everybody's going to know. Everybody's going to know. T-Shoe, goodness, he says this is painful. Back to taxes.
Yeah,
wow, we must really be bad. We must really be bad.
I want to kick all of us off now.
I know this is an absolute mess, and we apologize for all of you that have just tuned in to talk comic books. But here we are. We're gonna get to that point right now. Here we go. Because right now we have You this show is as much yours as it is ours. Let's have fun, everybody. Just relax. We're gonna get to comic books. This is how a Comic Book Canon is really done, though, with the guests. So it makes it fun. We hope you enjoy. But right now we have an amazing segment, Jeff. It's an amazing segment. You know why?
Why?
Because it's got Joe's name in it, and it's called Ask Joe. That's right. It's time for you to ask Joe a question. We have some good questions that were sent in before the show. Feel free to ask Joe any questions in the chat. Jeff and Jeff are gonna chime in when we feel it's appropriate, but this is Joe's segment. He drives it. He literally drives it. So here we go. Joe, are you ready?
Yes.
All right. This is gonna happen right now. Because we got Justin, aka Raising Elm Comics. Excellent question. This week we've had the first episode of The Mandalorian, and it was a good episode. It was solid. Jeff, I'm not sure if you watched The Mandalorian.
Not yet. It's on the schedule to watch. I typically have about one movie night where we just blow through a few episodes, my wife and I.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair.
But spoilers are fine. We're good.
There won't be any spoilers because I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, there's no spoilers in this question. But before we get to Justin's from Driftlord, Joe, would you like to go fight donkeys with me this summer?
I'll pet donkeys with you. My uncle has 2. We can go to his farm.
That's it. You don't even need to get donkeys to fight.
Their names are Betty and Wilma.
That's cute. That's adorable, aka Flintstones reference. All right, moving on. Here we go, guys. Here we go. Because we have a Mandalorian question. Question for the Ask Joe segment. On the new season of The Mandalorian, why does Din Djarin need to go to the mines on Mandalore to redeem himself if he already has the dark saber? Wouldn't the dark saber trump any past transgressions he committed against the way? What are your thoughts, Joe?
So, like I said, I did not watch this episode yet, and therefore there will be no spoilers, but I can answer with my opinion here. First and foremost,
by the way, this question is not answered in the first episode anyway, so
yeah. First and foremost, in order to have content for Disney Plus, that is why they're making him do that. Now, as far as storyline goes, it might be, a situation where the other Mandalorians are like, I don't know, just because he's got it. Because, they've definitely in, various, lore and stuff still question characters when they hold, this whatever holy relic it is, whether it's, Sword in the Stone or Holy Grail or something like that. And it's not necessarily always used for good. So therefore, I understand the Mandalorians being a little bit questioning in this situation and kind of want a full confirmation.
Okay. Jeff, would you like to chime in?
No, I would be really confused trying to explain this. Like the collecting dude said in the chat, he'd probably be my go-to if I needed him or Nemesis Prime if I needed some Star Wars.
Oh yeah, Nemesis Prime knows his stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say that to be a true Mandalorian, in their eyes, even having the dark saber, you are not eligible to. You have to overcome those transgressions by going to go to the mines to get over that taking off your helmet. This is a terrible analogy, but like you can't be president of the United States unless you're 35 years old, right? No matter what. If people want, if you could win the popular vote at 34, the vote, the electoral or whatever, if you could win at 34, you're not going to be president of the United States. You have to wait till you're 35. So does that make sense? Is it apples to apples right there?
Yeah. It's part of the way.
Exactly. Jim said it. It's part of the way, but because they're a crazy religious cult and there is no logic to why those things have to be done. Now, there could be some mystical thing that we're going to find out as the way this season. Who knows? But also collecting dude. Darksaber equal all Mandos, but the subsection of Death Watch want him to be, in their opinion, part of their sect. But Death Watch were the ones that took off their helmets.
I just want to say that I don't know a single person on Earth that is more into and knowledgeable about Star Wars than collecting dude.
Yes, he's very strong with the Force.
Okay.
Dude's username for everything is Yoda Rules 90.
That's pretty badass.
Since I've known him since middle school, so
okay. Well, again, feel free to give more context as to why, because Jim gave some. I mean, that makes sense too. But right there is the first question for Ask Joe. Pope of Chilitown, you missed a lot. It's been more than a schoolhouse. It's been like, yeah. What can we kind of?
I'm just a bill.
It's been like kind of like Animal House, to be honest with you. I was the guy that took the guitar and smashed it against the wall, and then Joe came up and said, "Was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor?" So anyway, we are on fire tonight. All right,
good.
Next question, Joe. You ready? We do have actually. Let's take a question in the chat here. This is a good one. Joe, what comic do you regret selling and why? From Josh's Comics.
Oh man. So that's a tough one. From a financial, a financial standpoint, that would have to be this was a couple years back. I owned a mid-grade ASM 300. This is before the comic boom. I had a mid-grade one. I bought it for I don't even know, like $120 or something like that years ago, and I sold it at one point. I think probably when I was like going to buy my house, because I sold a lot of my comics then, and obviously I sold that that was 2019 that I bought my house, right before the comic boom of 2020 and 2021. But from a sentimental standpoint, I used to have a Wolverine 1 from the limited series, 9/8, signed by Frank Miller, and I kind of regret selling that as far as the sentimental value. Yeah, I could buy it back. I mean, it probably only is about as much as I sold it for, so not too big of a deal. But that was like the first time I ever spent like a good bit on a comic. So wish I had that.
Before I get to you, Jeff, I want to say what's up to Comic Ozzy. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you are well up there in Canada. Jeff, is there a comic that you have ever regretted selling?
Yeah. So when I first started selling comic books, my stepfather gave me a lot of his stuff, and he had doubles. One book he didn't have a double of was the Flash 123. It was about an 8.0, and I sold that. And I was able to get him a lot of the books back in the same grade for relatively cheap. That one was just, it never came around again, but that's like the only one. And I like Joe had mentioned, I work for a bunch of auction. So I've handled a lot of stuff, and I've sold pretty much all my stuff. I have a small short box of things, but like that's the one. DC stuff in higher grade is really tough. Mm-hmm. Really tough.
And it's going to get tougher, by the way. I will tell y'all, Fantastic Four 52, first appearance of Black Panther. I do regret selling that, no doubt. So, Josh, that's a great question. Appreciate that. We have another really good question for you, Joe. Considering you have been on fire in terms of finding these gigantic inventories, right? You had one. What was the most recent one? A couple weeks ago was like how many boxes?
It ended up condensing down to 42 longs. It was a mix of shorts and longs that was about 60 boxes total, but 42 long boxes is what came out of it.
Okay, so this is a great question. Mark Leneker. Joe, you have taken in a substantial comic inventory in a relatively short amount of time. How do you keep from getting overwhelmed with the intake process? Do you ever get burned out? What are your thoughts on insurance for collections? It's kind of like a two-part question.
Yeah, so we'll start with the insurance side. I think it is definitely a good idea to get your collectibles insured. Whether that's, you protect yourself from theft and, fire, flood, all that stuff. It's a good idea to do. I would say if you have an amount of comics that you would be really, really sad about losing and, being out that money, if you got a couple long boxes of dollar bin books, maybe not really worth it. But if you got $5,000 worth of comics, yeah, sure. As far as like my inventory, I've been looking into how to get that insured and finding it kind of difficult, but I'm going to try to figure that out this year. As far as getting burnt out on inventory, I get burnt out a lot. And when I do, and I, run out of space or whatever, I end up bulking stuff off, all the low value stuff, the dollar bin stuff. I bulk that off to a local comic shop or whoever wants it. If a friend needs inventory, cheap inventory. Just being able to get rid of that. You can always sell stuff to LCSs. They're not going to give you a ton of money for that kind of bulk, but it adds up. I did a video a couple months ago where I sold an LCS 36 long boxes of just stuff that I had marked at $1 bin stuff all day, bulk, junk, whatever you want to call it. And I ended up getting, I think it was $1,500 that they gave me for 36 longs. It was like, $40 or something per box. And, I was happy with that. The guy came, picked it up in, a U-Haul van. I didn't have to do any work other than help him load it from my garage into the van. And, I had suddenly a lot more space in my house. So, as someone who does this part-time, as someone who isn't a full-time comic vendor and can't always turn things over, just being able to sell off to other dealers or stores or things like that is probably the way to do it.
All right. That's a good answer right there. We got two more questions here. Who's winning in a race, Quicksilver or Sonic? I'm going to say Sonic because he's a hedgehog.
Sonic,
guys, real quick.
I'm saying Sonic.
Quicksilver.
Got to go fast, bro.
Quicksilver. No, have you ever seen the scene in the X-Men movie? Quicksilver's like moving.
You ever seen the Sonic movie?
Yeah, smokes Robotnik. Quicksilver's never fought anyone as vile as Robotnik.
Robotnik had a giant robot too in the first one.
You can see Sonic when he's running.
They slow it down so you can see Sonic.
Same thing with Quicksilver. Can you please stop with this?
You can't see Quicksilver when he's running.
Oh,
yeah, I'm done with this. All right, I'm done.
I'm
moving on. T-Shoe, Joe, what's in your grab and go box?
What is a grab and go box?
Oh, I thought that was your nickname in high school. No?
I quit the show.
Finally,
I'm in. Now. We're back. So
we are alone. Oh, I just wanted to be alone with you in this room.
That's how Alex, collecting dude, introduced me to him. He's like, "This is my friend, grab and go box. Have fun." I'm like, "Hey, I'm Jeff. Nice to meet you."
By the way, Drift Lord got it. Yeah. I think he agreed with us on the Sonic thing. All right. Caleb Leland wants to work for you.
Yeah, I can't provide insurance. But yeah, I do have people come over. Collecting dude is someone who comes over and works for me.
You know what? I've never gotten invited.
You live in New York, bro. Come over.
Dude,
come hang.
I come to your area
once
a week.
You were invited to come over on Thursday of this week, and you decided to have dinner with Stampede instead of come to my house.
Oh, God, that's messed up.
Kick him off.
You did that like you're like some sort of king. Like he's a jester. He's not funny enough. Kick him off.
Kick him off.
Here's T-Shoe. If your house is on fire, what do you grab and go?
Oh, what do I grab? My dogs.
Good question.
Wait, what? Your wife is okay?
She'll be fine.
She'll be bringing the comic books out.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, moving on. Right there, guys, is Ask Joe every week. Please use the hashtag. I'm going to bring up this image right here, as you can see on the left. Ask Joe CBC. We're going to have some more great, I can't speak, guys. We're going to have some more great questions for the Ask Joe segment each and every week. Enjoy your input on this. But right now, why am I yelling, guys?
Because it's time
to do props or flops. That's right. We ask you, the audience, to send us any comics you may have questions about. If it's a prop, which we're giving it props, it's proppers. Or if it's a flop, if you got a really bad book for a really bad deal. Upload it to Instagram. Use the hashtag props or flops. I have to say, guys, please tag us in the photo, not in the comments, because these hashtags are garbage these days, and we don't know why. Tag us in the photo so we know to look at the props or flops. Tell us why this book interests you as well. Tell us how much you paid for it. And again, this is for investment purposes overall, and that's how we kind of determine what we got going or what you got going for here. This is a great audience engagement segment as well. They let us know if it's a props or flops, and we got 4 good ones today, guys. 4 good ones. We're just going to get into it right now with, who's the first one? We got, I like this name. Where is it? Oh, shit. Okay. Did I not? Guys, I am a disaster. No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Responsibility for this, Jeff.
Okay, we got a good one right here. Pope of Chillytown. I believe he's in the chat. Look at that. G'day, mate. Help me out with this variant. I was under the impression it was a more well-known and valued than perhaps it is. Amazing Spider-Man 365, the Australian price variant. Picked this up in a Spidey 2099 newsstand recently. I think this book more often than not gets sold as a newsstand, as you can see in the bottom left corner there. And now that I have one, I went to check the values, and the data is surprisingly sparse. Cover price last week saw very fine 2021 $600 eBay sale. Then there was a raw $152 in an auction for an 8.0. Best offer $350 last year on Go Collect. Not listed as a variant in the CGC.com. Not listed as a variant in mycomicshop.com. None for sale in CGC Census. Only 12 copies based on the excessive print run of the cover A and probably a higher than average newsstand count. I always considered this the variant to have for this book and one of the Australian variants that actually does carry value. Condition is about a very fine plus. Picked it up a lot of $20.99, 1 and 2 newsstands for $85. I still think that's a good deal, but trying to figure out exactly what is the fair market value on this book. And also, do people not know about this book or not just care about this book? Let's get Jeff. Let's get your kind of input on your overall thoughts and if you give this a props or a flops.
I would give that a prop. I'm not familiar with Australian price variants, but I think that's really interesting, right? Price variance in itself is very niche as a market, but I think that's cool. The price he paid for the lot is a win, right? But yeah, that's awesome. I think once that movie drops, someone's going to look to pay big on that. That's a big range for the price, but
it is.
Yeah, I'd probably go around that 350 price, right? What was the grade on that again?
8.0. It was an 8.0.
I mean, at least as a baseline, if that's a VF plus, right? 8.5. Yep. So that's a win. That's a big time prop. Again, great first appearance. Pretty wonky newsstand, but that's the thing that I think will sell it at the end of the day, that in the first appearance, right?
Exactly. Now, Joe, let's before I ask your opinion, I want to remind the audience here that we really value your opinion as well. Let us know if this is a props or flops in your opinion. He spent $85 on this book and Spidey 29 1 and 2 newsstands. So I think that's a great deal for all of that as a collector's set. But we're specifically talking about this Australian price variant. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, so it's interesting. I saw this post by a comic book dealer that I see on Instagram all the time, and I liked the post and I looked at the price and I was like, seems like an okay price, but I'm gonna pass. Like I'm not really interested in it. And then maybe an hour later, Pope of Chilitown texted me and he's like, yo, check out what I got. And he told me that, in fact, this was not just newsstands. This specific book was the Australian price variant. And prior to him telling me that, I did not know that there was an Australian price variant of this book. So first and foremost, I'm one of the people he was talking about that did not know, was not aware of this. And I think because of that, this book often gets mistaken as a newsstand, and that is why a lot of the pricing data is inconsistent, because people might list it as a newsstand and it goes cheap because only one person realized, oh, this is the Australian price variant, which is much harder to find. So I think this is props all day. I think that at any of those price points that we saw on the data that are low are probably due to mislisting or misunderstanding. And that this is a pretty rare variant. And I'm with, Jeff and what he said about it being niche. Not everyone collects price variants and stuff, but it is definitely an avenue, just like foreign books in general, that has room to grow in the hobby.
Yeah, definitely has a lot of legs. And I think we need to double prop this because look at the Crocodile Dundee.
Absolutely. I mean,
that hasn't been mentioned. That's a double win.
Okay, so we have 2 out of 3 show hosts here saying props. I'm going to give it, guys, I tried to get my Australian buddy who ran a comic book shop in Australia. He lives out here in New York now. He refused to come on the show, and that makes me angry. But just to hear his accent, by the way, and just to see that we have Crocodile Dundee on here. And everybody here who is engaging in this segment here is saying props as well. We appreciate what you guys are saying, especially you, Raw Dog Comics, and Mr. Tom Freak, and Caleb Leland. I'm going to give it a props as well, just for the fact it's unknown right now, just for the fact that he paid $85 for this book and 2 other newsstand books, Spidey 2099, including, number 1. Josh's Comics, props for the Pope. Yeah, I'm gonna. This has a lot of, this has not hit its ceiling yet. Once the word gets out about this probably will be the lesser available variant out of all of them for this book right here, Spidey 2099. We're gonna see more and more of him, especially with that movie coming out, and the third film as well. So I'm giving it props. We all give it a props. And we'll just make it official right there, guys. Does that feel good? It says props.
Yeah, I like good. It feels
fantastic. All right. Before we move on to the next one, I gotta say, this is Chris's Journals Comics. This is his segment. He really dives deep into all of the information pertaining to this segment. We miss him. He will be back. We promise you that. He will be back. Just letting you know, he's taking care of stuff on the home front, and you can't go wrong with that. So send him a message, tell him you love him, because we all do here as well. All right, we're going to move on to Justin, a.k.a. Raising Elm. Where are you, buddy? Here you are. I like this question right here for a few reasons. A year or so ago, I bought some key issues from a seller on eBay, which revolved around the Hand, an Ancient Order of Assassins. Daredevil issues 174 to 176. Also, Daredevil issue 174 marks the 3rd appearance of Elektra, and Daredevil issue 176 is the first appearance of Stick, the mentor sensei of Daredevil and Elektra. I picked up these 3 issues for right around $40. To my surprise, the seller threw in a free copy of Daredevil issue number 16. So I'm not mistaken, this issue is the second team up of Daredevil and Spider-Man, the first being Amazing Spider-Man issue 16. This is also the first appearance of the Masked Marauder. But more importantly, this is the first time John Romita Sr. worked on Spider-Man. It's a low-grade copy, but free is free, and it still presents so well. Thoughts, by the way, before we say the thoughts? Joe, a low-grade copy to you is what?
Well, no, low-grade is better than no grade.
Patent pending. Joe Faisano. Anyways, all right, so our guest here, Jeff, thoughts? Props
I agree with I think that's a prop. I agree with Joe, right? I just want to be in the club, any grade, right? That's a great book. That's a great cover. I think you're going to get more, I think, of the 2 of them, right? If they make Spidey even more street level, I think that Daredevil's already there. Clearly, we've seen that, bringing him back. I think that's got a little legs there. So yeah, free comic, yeah, always. And that was the next thing I was about to say. Anything free is always a prop to me. So good one right there. Good score. Props for sure.
Joseph.
Yeah, I mean, props for multiple reasons. I mean, a free book is, like Tom said, always going to be props. You know, you paid $0 for it. Even if it has a 10-cent value, you can make some amount of money off of it. But, you know, as far as these specific books go, you know, I don't know if it was mentioned in the comment, but those are Miller Daredevil books. The original Miller run was issue 168 when he took over writing, at least until issue 191. So those fall in that gap right there. So these are Frank Miller Daredevil books. They're key issues beyond that. And there was a free Silver Age book with Romita artwork, specifically with Spider-Man Romita artwork, and a great cover at that. Yeah, there's nowhere to go but up for these books. Props, and $40, like $40 for, you know, 3 Miller books and a Silver Age. Absolutely, all day.
Yeah, I'm gonna. This is simple for me. It's a prop. It's a props all day, because again, this is a key issue for the fact that this is John Romita Sr.'s first work with Spider-Man. He is an iconic artist working with Spider-Man. Todd McFarlane's first work with Spider-Man is a key issue as well. So just that right there, you got it for free. Again, you know, as who said this? I'm sorry. By the way, Raw Dog Comics is this. Mr. Tom Freak said it. A free comic is always a props to me. Yes, for sure. But this is again a key issue. Prop Daredevil is one of the best, and with the new show out next year, it's props all day long. 100%. I think everybody agrees with that. Well said there, Justin. And our final, guys, our final props or flops for this week is for Ryan McKenzie. This is going to be difficult. This is going to be a challenge for everybody. Audience members, let us know if you have any information on this book, because, guys, Grim Fairy Tales number 52, Showcase Edition. Bought this raw about a year ago on eBay for around $85. I guess that's Canadian dollars, including shipping. After getting it graded for about 35 Canadian dollars, I'm into it for a total of 100 Canadian dollars. Not a key of any kind, but a great cover, and it's super rare. Only 75 made, and it's a 9.9. And it's the only 9.9 on CBCS that I know of. Guys, your thoughts on this? I want to look this up on Cover Price, but give me your thoughts right now if you have any information on this book right here.
Yeah, so I just want to say 9.9s are hard to find. You know, unless you're talking about, you know, the square bound prestige books. You know, there were plenty of 9.9s for, you know, Batman Damn and Last Ronin and stuff like that. Other books, it's hard to get 9.9s. There might not be any that exist. There might only be a handful that exist, even for modern books. As far as the price point goes, 120 Canadian, which is probably like $100 US. I think that anyone can see that is a pretty great price for any 9.9. Now, that being said, this book is definitely niche. This you know, it's not like 9 out of 10 collectors want this. It's probably like 1 out of 20 or 30 collectors would want this. So it's a harder book to get rid of, but I don't see any situation where you're not going to be able to sell it for more than $100 within, you know, if you spend a couple months trying to sell it, just because, you know, it is a 9.9. And there are people that collect these modern Good Girl covers and stuff like that. So there is a market. It's a 9.9. That stands out really nicely. It's a great piece to like hang up, present. So yeah, I'm at the price point. I'm going to give this thing a props.
Okay, Jeff. You said
I'm on the fence right now, and Joe pointed out a lot of really good points that would make me want to say prop, but I've seen so many collections that have books in high grade and rarity and 9.9s, and they just don't do well with like auction in my auction background, and seeing them flop on that level. I think it might take a little bit longer, like Joe pointed out, to sell. I think if it's a PC and there's no intention to sell, then that's a prop. But I think it might be a flop for me right here. I don't know. I'm not into the cover. It's tough. That's just me.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm not a collector that collects stuff like this either, and I
Yeah,
totally get that. I think that just because, like, if this was a 9.8 and he said he got it for $40 at a 9.8, I would give this a flop. Like,
but I've seen 9.9s go for. No, absolutely, you're not going to get rich by selling these. But I've seen 9.9s like just not go well. Like I've had a 10. What was the book? The Bernie Wrightson cover is like all black with like a skull on it, and it was like $125.
Wow.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like I get what it is and the rarity and the 9.9, but that doesn't necessarily dictate value for me. I don't know. And again, PC prop, I don't know. I just think overall, I'm not into it. Flop. And it's CBCS. Like great point. Like that also takes away from that. So is that really a 9.9? Or is it a 9.8? Is it a 9.6? I'm just going to throw that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I am pretty keen on CGC and CBCS grading very similarly. I've just really done a lot of research on it, and I've seen people get grade bumps moving to it's mostly people moving from CBCS to CGC.
Sure.
And I've seen them get grade bumps and I've seen them get grade dips. So I think grading is pretty similar between the two. It's not like this is a PGX 9.9.
Oh yeah, or a Halo.
Yeah, or Halo. I don't know much about Halo, but yeah, obviously
they're worse than PGX.
That being said, you know, you totally have much more experience in these like weird niche books than I do. So you know, if you're saying flops, that is probably more correct than my opinion would be.
Well, no, it's an opinion, right? It's just what I've seen, right? Again, you might have people that love this stuff and they'll eat it up quick. It's just my clients haven't really paid for it. So for me, it's just 11.2.
PGX 11.2.
Clean grade.
I don't know, Joe, if your answer has changed. I'm gonna give you guys the data here, okay, on this book, based off of cover price.
Oh, good. Okay.
There are 75 of these that were made. This is the Mike DeBalfo Showcase Limited to 75. The last sale again was I don't see any. There's no slab sales or anything. So the last sale was for $36 for this in November of 2021.
Oh wow.
A raw copy.
A raw copy. There's no sales data on here about anything, being slabbed or what have you. So look, don't listen to any of us. You buy what you want to buy. Like, honestly,
absolutely, always buy.
Like, for me, my opinion, I'm going to give this a flop. But again, you got a 9.9. That again, CBCS, that's fine. But a 9.9, it's got some merit to it. It's got, I don't know what you're looking to do with it. It's a rare copy, but it's very niche, and that's why I would say flops. So Jeff gave it a flops. Joe, are you sticking with your props?
I think I'm still a hair on the side of the flop, or on the side of the prop, just because of it being a 9.9 and the price point. But I could be wrong.
Okay. Yeah, I think everybody here was on.
I will say, with the caveat though, that it's not a liquid asset. You're not able to sell this on, if you need money one week, you're $100 short on rent. You're probably not going to get it for this book in 1 week. You got to find a seller that wants that book, and they're much fewer and far between than someone who's looking for ASM or Batman.
Yeah. This was a challenging one. This is the most challenging props or flops. I would have loved to see what Chris would have given.
That's good.
Again,
yeah.
Chris digs in deep. So but thank you all for sending in your submission. One more opinion here. Floppy flop from Paul Bond. Paul Bond. Right there. Again, let's just talk about real quick. Whoa, I almost ended the broadcast. I am getting careless and reckless, and Jesus.
Don't do it.
Somebody needs to take over. Props or flops, people. Hashtag. Use the hashtag props or flops. Don't forget to tag us in the picture. Upload any comics to Instagram. Use the hashtag props or flops. Tell us why this book interests you. Tell us how much you paid for it and what your outlook is in terms of an investment. And we'll break it down live on our show with our audience. That was a fun props or flops segment right there. But it's time to move on. Jeff, you have responsibilities as the guest co-host of the Canon.
Do it.
You do. And it weighs heavily on a lot of people. Some people have cried, broken down. You are going to pick a semi-finalist from these submissions here. But first of all, what's the segment, Joe?
Fresh from the comic shop.
That's right. Live from the Preston Salon. We ask you, the audience, to send in your fresh gets each and every week. Fresh gets could be days old, 2 days old. They could be 30 years old. As long as they're fresh in your collection, we want to see them on the show. Take a picture, upload it into Instagram, hashtag FFTCS. Make sure to tag us in the picture at Comic Book Canon, at Journos, at 360 Comics, and we will have it on the show. You may have multiple submissions in a week, but we only choose one for the show. It's only fair, right, Joe? Right, Jeff? Only fair.
Only one. That's fair.
Now, we have some criteria we go by in terms of who we pick for the semifinals. Presentation. Take a well-composed shot. Get artistic with it. Have it connect to the issue. People who have fun with this, take a look at Raising Elm Comics. He does a great job of just going outside the box, not just putting it up against the wall and taking a picture. Granted, we get some fine pictures like that, but have fun with these pictures. Again, another piece of another criteria we go by is unique. How unique is this book? We've seen a lot of cool sketchbooks, things like that have moved on to the semifinals. Unique doesn't mean $30,000. Unique could be a book we've never heard of before. A person who does that quite a bit is Mark Leneker. He shows us some books. You're like, I've never even heard of that, but that is amazing. And finally, this goes a long way because we're softies here. We got mushy hearts, right? Right, Joe? Mushy hearts, Jeff.
Mushy.
You got an iron heart, I think, but that's
mashed
okay.
Potatoes.
It's because you eat a lot of mashed potatoes.
I do.
Yeah. What's the story behind this book? What does it mean to you? Does it remind you of a family member? Does it remind you of the first book you pulled off the rack and just got thrusted into this amazing hobby? Did it get destroyed in the flood and you saved all your money up and put your life savings to buying this issue again? Tell us what this book means to you. Though, tug at our heartstrings, because that goes a very, very long way. So, Jeff, did you write all that down, the criteria? Because you got responsibilities.
Yeah, I got it all. It's all down.
I hear the sarcasm. The freaking.
No, I got no wrong page.
Beautiful.
I got notes. I've been taking notes.
All right.
He's got the data.
Well, you got the algorithm. I mean, you're straight up a walking rendition of Chat GPT. No doubt about that. All right, moving on. Here we go.
It went somewhere.
Here, I believe you. First up, we got Dark Knight Comics. Thank you for submitting. This is his first submission, his or hers. $25 pickup from today. Fine, very fine. First Silver Age appearance of Scarecrow. That's a terrible issue. What did you guys say? Terrible. That's
awful. Overpaid.
$25.
Yeah.
I've
That's
been
all
sarcasm.
sarcasm.
2 years.
Dark Knight Comics. We love this pickup right here.
Wow.
Especially Joe definitely loves this pickup all day.
Dark Knight, hit me up. I'll double your money on that one. Don't worry.
Oh, here we go. And he'll take some
bidding war.
Joe, you're not on the show to make money here. I mean, you're still.
No, I want that for my PC. I don't want to make money.
Oh, I thought I got you.
Until next Sunday night's claim sale.
Exactly.
I'm not doing a claim sale next Sunday, Jeff.
Oh, sorry, Sunday at 5.
No, next Friday.
I know. It's backyard barbecue.
Know my schedule.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
God.
I'm
Stop
sorry.
making me laugh. Stop it. We got a show to run.
All right.
Next up, we got Sicilian Comics. Now, remember when I talked about unique books? Tell me if this falls under that category right here. That was unexpected. Second G.I. Joe, high grade, and a double cover error.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Joe, don't you like double covers?
I love double covers.
Yeah, so I don't know too much about double covers, but when I worked at Metropolis, little name drop, right? One of my coworkers was sorting this collection, and it was like 4 or 5 long boxes of all like double, triple cover books. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. There was like a Walking Dead 1, tons of like random Marvel DC books, but that's super cool.
That is very cool. Quite old, and I think that's a great get, and that's unique in my opinion.
I got a fun double cover fact that not a lot of people know because it wasn't any of the bigger books that really were publicly known and stuff. But there were a significant amount of books in the Promise collection, which is a CGC recognized pedigree from 2 years ago. There were a significant amount of double covers. They have no confirmation of this, but the theory is that the guy actually specifically was asking the newsstand that he was buying off of, when you get double covers, save them for me, because there were more than any collection would have as far as like randomly acquiring. So it seemed like that guy was requesting double covers.
Interesting. I mean, that's niche as well. I mean, that's another for sure. Wow. But it seems to be becoming more something sought after, which is interesting.
I have.
Didn't I sell you, Joe, some Iron Man?
It was Iron Man like 8 or something, like a single digit Iron Man.
Random, yeah. And they're all over the place too, price wise.
By the way, Sicilian Comics bought that for $35 at his LCS yesterday.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, good score.
By the way, I didn't catch up on this. Driftlord, kick Jeff off for trying to kick all of us off. Interesting. And then Dan, I've known you for years. Where do you get off spelling Jeff like that?
Wow.
How dare you? And I'm not sure which Jeff you're talking about, because you didn't send me $20.
Oh yeah, maybe he's forgot a few F's and H's and T's in my name, so he might be talking about you.
There's a silent L in there.
The third F is silent.
Yeah, no, my third F is silent.
Right. Yes. It's like, do the people know that?
No, because you don't have to write it down either. It's so silent. It's true. Moving on. This guy is a pain in the ass, this guy that submits. I cannot stand him. If I find out who this guy is, that's right, 360 Comics. The only reason I chose this, Joe, is it actually looks really cool. Early morning pickup. I grabbed a small 90s collection before work today. Nothing crazy. Is it weird that I'm reading your words, Joe? I'm reading it like you would say it too. Nothing crazy, but there are 5 sharp copies of X-Men 4, first appearance of Omega Red. A solid start to the week. That's terrible. That's a terrible impression of you.
Yeah, we got to work on that.
You got to be more nasally.
I do. I apologize. I tried. I was off the cuff. All right, Jeff, with a few T's and an H and a P.
Yes, all silent.
What's your first fresh get of the week?
Oh my goodness. So, get a Gambit foil.
Oh, look at that!
Gambit foil, right? So this is not for a PC. It's all for sale. We got a random collection in. A few small collections, not as many boxes as Joe, and this baby was in that.
That's beautiful. What would you grade that at? What's
this is a 9.92 near mint minus. Yeah,
it's beautiful. Fresh. That is such a cool cover too.
Wow.
Yeah, it's clean.
I have never come across that book in the wild. I've seen it at cons. I've seen it in comic shops up on the wall. Never found it like at a flea market or in a collection or in, a back issue bin underpriced or anything like that. That's
gorgeous. Great. That's a nice get right there. That is a fresh get, no doubt about that. Yeah. But you are not eligible to win anything, so just letting you know. Moving on. I like this one too. I've never heard of this book. You guys tell me if you have. We got Marvel Man 616 Comics. Spidey never misses a great opportunity with the ladies. That's Red Sonja. Like, I didn't know. Did you guys know about this book?
I've never seen that book.
That's pretty cool. That's unique to me.
Yeah. I like that cover a lot.
I knew about this, but only because I bought a collection and the guy was a big Dynamite Comics fan. So this was in there, and I was like, "What?"
Do you know what year that's from, Joe?
What? Excuse me?
What year that's from?
2000s, probably early 2010s, judging by the rest of that collection. So maybe like a decade old. Yeah,
that's really cool. And he likes his redheads. That's fair to say. Like, definitely.
Jeff, I need to show my book after this.
Right now?
Well, are we done with that?
Well, technically,
I'm not done. So I have to keep it up for as long as I want to.
Okay.
And we're done.
All right, cool. The reason I want to show my book next is it is, in fact, the first cameo appearance of Red Sonja. Now, you might be thinking, Joe, you got this book last week. We know you got this book last week. We watched your YouTube channel. Thank you guys for watching my YouTube channel. I did, but I didn't notice something until this week in this book, because
here we go.
when I took it out to grade it and to figure out what I want to do with it, whether I want to keep it or sell it, I had a very pleasant surprise in that this thing has
Mark Jewelers.
Nice.
It's actually pre-Mark Jewelers, because Mark Jewelers ended up being buying out this company. This is National Diamond Supply.
Yeah, run by Clark Jewelers. It was his uncle.
That was not. You're lying to the people.
Oh, that's fact. You can fact check that. I'm not a liar.
It's National Diamond Sales. That's the name of the company.
Clark Jewelers.
National
Diamond Sales.
Basically, they were doing this, and then they were bought out by Mark Jewelers, who continue to do this in comic books. Obviously, I did not know it, and I don't. Given the price that I got this for, right around $50, I don't think the seller knew that was in there either, and that's why it is always important to check for those things.
Check your books. That's a really cool. And again, that's a unique book right there, right? We would classify that as unique. So again, criteria right there. That's very cool. Very cool, Joe. People are saying that they like it. Nice grab, Joe. Nice. Wow. This guy Joe has a YouTube channel. Why didn't anybody tell me? It's not worth your time. No, it's worth your time. Click the link down below. Follow Joe. Just get a knuckle sandwich. I don't use that terminology, only with my daughter. She finds it funny. Moving on though. We got who do we got next? So we got Mike Haggs. Good old Mike Haggs, 77. I love this cover. Last poster, comic collector, virgins for Valentine's. That's a hashtag, by the way. Thanks for tagging me in on the fun every day. I appreciate it. And Ray of the Dead for Top Variant Tuesday, February. There's a lot of tags here, but it's Halloween Eve, first issue number 1, the Alex Ross Timeless variant. I like that. I love that cover. I love it. Who doesn't like Alex Ross? Like, honestly, like. You got problems if you don't like Alex Ross. He's outstanding, guys. If you don't mind, I'm going to show my first book, my fresh get of the week. If that's
I'll allow it. Okay,
thanks, guys. So I went to a new comic book shop. Hadn't been there before. I found some really good picks. So this is a good segue right here because actually this I just picked off the new comic book rack. Hallows Eve number 1.
Yeah,
I think this is the Art Germ variant. I read it. I actually had time just to read it. I like this. I like this character a lot. I'm
very, very attracted to her.
Is your wife away?
She knows. I brought the book home with her first appearance in Spider-Man 13, and I was like, look at this character. She's hot as hell.
Well, she could be anybody. Like, her powers are really cool. I read Amazing Spider-Man 14 on the Unlimited app. I was like, I'm going to pick this up. I really like this issue. This first issue is really good. I know a lot of people are mad about Ben Reilly and all that stuff, but I'm digging this issue. So that's my first fresh get of the week, and that's actually Mike Haggs. 77 has, again, the Alex Ross variant, Virgin variant. So, again, I just felt it was, guys, that's called, in the industry, that's called like a segue right there. So not the ones that you ride, though. Not those. All right, moving on. We got P. Keel. Now, guys, we do accept, like, submissions of, like, if you send out books to CGC or EGS, who sponsors this segment. How dare I not even bring it up? My God. I'm going to talk about that.
Did we even show the book?
Jeff with 3 T's and a P and an H is
so confused. EGS.
We're going to do that now, actually. God,
show the book.
Awful. EGS sponsors this. You guys can win a free EGS slab each and every month. I'm just going to, you know what? Custom slabs. You tell them what you want. This is one of my most prized possessions. It's autographed by Stan Lee because I asked him to do it. As you can see, the gradient, the nice red. We went there with the Peter Parker Spider-Man thing right there. You get cool logos. Yeah, it's a 4.0. I didn't get it pressed. I didn't need to. Okay? Stop giving me that look, Jeff.
No, I'm trying to check that out. That's cool.
Yeah, so EGS, they're amazing, guys. You can win a slab each and every month just by submitting. Again, the criteria: you move on to the semifinals, you win the semifinals. You move on to the finals, you win the finals. You get a free slab from EGS. Let me tell you about EGS real quick because they sponsor this segment. EGS gives you optional custom labels, as you saw right there, free grader's notes, fast turnaround times. And guys, these cases that are they're proprietary cases. They just released them like a few months ago. They feel, I'm not bullshitting you guys, like these feel really good in the hand. Really solid. They have an extra pin in here that makes it feel solid. Book doesn't move around. I'm loving this. They also UV protection. Absolutely love it. Oh my God, I'm losing my breath. And guys, you guys can all win this right here. If you like Spawn, you're going to love this. That's right. Spawn 297, 9.8. Again, it's a custom label right up there. And that was 5 seconds. Dag nabbit. I should have done it longer. We'll just look at it right here. Joe, do you like this? I think you like this.
I like it, I love it, and need it.
Joe, you're not eligible, but Jeff, do you like it?
I do. This is like the first time I'm really checking them out. That's why I'm so into this year.
Well, guess what?
That's interesting, yeah.
You can get 5% off on your order using the code Cannon5. EGS Comics. Link is down below. Please subscribe to EGS on the Instagram, the YouTubes. Subscribe to us. Subscribe to Jeff. Subscribe to 360 Comics. All the good stuff. All the love going around. Moving on. Tony, I always bring that up at the top. I'm just really distracted by Jeff. Is really distracted.
You've nailed it. You've been practicing my name,
Jeff.
Right on point. Look, I've known Joe from forever, it seems, and he can't even get it right.
Yeah, I always call him Jeff instead of Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys
and
give that a
double
try.
At the end. Now I'm like, dude, you come into my house, you call me by my right name, please.
That is so disrespectful that he did not do that. Anyways, P. Keel submitted a comic book. Again, you guys submit to EGS, you guys submit to CGC, PGX, which is one of Joe's favorites. You know, this counts too. He's got original artwork in there from a NAMM book. So that's fresh from the comic shop, fresh from the framing shop, technically. I'm going to give it to Jeff if he wants to accept this as something that could move on to the semifinals. We'll give it. It's definitely unique because he's got that original artwork there, and I always appreciate that. So good stuff right there, P. Keel. Loving that, loving that, loving that. We got another first submission, Boss 101 Comics. I'm a younger comic reader. I didn't grow up in the 90s when legend stories like this Spawn number 10 were written. For the first time last week, I read this comic digitally. The way McFarlane wrote this story made my jaw drop, especially when you get to the last page. Reminded me how important it is to hang on to things that inspire you and the things you love. Moved me so much, I drove an hour away to a brick and mortar to buy a physical copy for my display. You guys agree? Ever read this book? Let me know your thoughts. Yes, look, art is meant to inspire and to move you, whether it be comic books, whether it be film, whether it be music, whether it be books, whatever, what have you. It's supposed to do that. And to know that this touched you in some way, I'm not being dirty here, by the way, but I'm trying to be serious, and I can't even do that. But to know that this meant something to you in that way, that is inspiring in itself, and we appreciate that. Yes, Todd McFarlane is a unique storyteller. That's why they call him the Todd Father. That's why he's been in this industry for so long, and he's so successful at it. The way he tells his stories, the way he lays out his pages. Again, so I appreciate that. Again, that's another example of what does this book mean to you. So he drove an hour away just to pick it up the next day. So
I miss when Todd McFarlane was in our chat often.
Oh, I know. Where'd he go?
It's the only reason why I came on is I heard he might join tonight.
I promised you that, and that's just not fair. But you know what? You know what I'll do? I'll let you show off your second fresh get of the week. What do you got?
So you know, I had this, but then I added this. This came with the last fresh get of the week. And these are actually, I think, are going to go into my PC. Because I just don't have them anymore. So yeah, X-Men 12 and 13, first and second appearance of the Juggernaut.
Beautiful. Those are some nice. That counts too, by the way. I know you were worried about that.
Yeah, and they're VG. So that's it. Just get me in the club complete. I can read them. They've been well loved and read and into the collection. So
probably smell good. Joe can make some money off of that though.
I can't. You know why? I have never been able to sell that book. Every time I get a copy, it just goes right in the PC. I have 4 of them. Like they just sit.
It's a good book to have,
Now you're just bragging.
I just take them out and look at them, and I'm like, now Juggernaut is one of my absolute favorite characters ever. And not only that, but the first comic book that I ever spent $100 on was an ASM X-Men 12. So, yeah, can't get rid of those.
I'll take them for free. Sure. Moving on. Collector Without Fear. By the way, Collector Without Fear is a producer. He's a guy that he knows his stuff. I mean, him and I are in the same industry. We can name drop if you want, but we're not going to do that. But he always takes care of like getting those great shots, nice depth of field, all that, lighting, kind of a really cool kind of ambiance in terms of where it is. He's really embarrassed by this shot, which really, it's a nice shot right here. He definitely did some sort of color grading on it as well. But he has a message here, and I want you all to read it. I'm in DC filming for a few days, so I probably won't be able to catch the stream tomorrow night, but thought I'd share this pic with you. As I mentioned a while back, the writer of Hitomi saw and really appreciated the video I had done recommending the series and sent me this signed rare variant cover of issue number 1 as a thank you for supporting indie comic creators. Didn't have time to do a proper shoot. By the way, that's it right there. But snap this quickly just to share it with the community. Some of that positive energy that we can always use more of in the hobby. Also, doesn't the one character kind of look like Sho'nuff from The Last Dragon on this cover? Absolutely. But that's a cool story right there. Where the creator was paying attention to something that he has. Brendan has he has his own channel. I do believe we have a link down below. And he produces some great content, and he had some nice things to say about this, and the creator somehow caught wind of it and just sent him this rare book. So I think that's awesome, by the way. So yeah, kudos to that right there. And by the way, the Collector Without Fear, he's trying to get the whole Daredevil run. Josh's Comics from Delaware. The Umbrella Academy, free comic book day, which is the first team appearance of the Umbrella Academy. Issue 7 of Hotel Oblivion, first team appearance of the Sparrow Academy. I fell in love with the show on Netflix and consider it one of my favorites. Extremely happy to own these 2 beautiful books. Guys, this is those are some good pickups right there. And he's definitely loving that it's in his collection. Josh, I love it too. Joe,
you know what? Whoever sold Josh that free comic book day first Umbrella Academy is just such an outstanding member of this community.
Do you know who that person would be?
Yeah, it was me.
You don't want it to do you?
Is it my turn? My second fresh get of the week?
It is, but Mr. Tom Freed gave Josh props, even though it's not the.
All right. So
look, wait a minute. He just gave it away.
Oh, there we go. Thanks, Josh. Anyway, I was at a flea market this morning, and it was cold, but I ended up leaving with an entire long box of comic books.
There you go.
Mostly
get that work in.
Yeah, mostly from one person. But then it was like 3/4 of a box from one person. And then I filled the rest of the box up with a couple other dealers. One of them had not only a really solid group of books, but also had really good prices on them. And I thought that it was a good time to pick up this book right here, because this book was hot a year ago and has since dropped in price, just like the whole market has. But I thought it was a great time to pick up Darth Maul number 2, the first appearance of Cad Bane. That character kind of came and went in the Book of Boba Fett show, but I can't imagine them not using that character again in something. We don't know that character actually died in the show, and also they can do something that happened beforehand, and it can be pre-death, even if that is a confirmed death in the Star Wars universe. But it is a character that's been around since the Clone Wars show and stuff like that. So I thought it was a great pickup. I got it for pretty cheap, bundled together with a major 90s key. You're gonna have to watch my video to see what that is.
I do believe the link to your channel is down below, and if you guys are not subscribed, then shame on you.
It's a problem. And that cover, Joe, is fire.
Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So good. With the first dozen times I looked at this cover, I just thought that it was kind of like a white background. I didn't even realize that it was Palpatine in the background.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh
did
my
you not see
God,
that?
I didn't either. I thought he's like in
Yeah.
a cave.
Right? Yeah.
Wow.
Very cool.
Oh my gosh. That's really cool. Yeah, who knows? He's probably, dude, he is a fan favorite. Also, he's been in many cartoons, like the you mentioned that, I guess. But like, yeah, I hope he does come back. For sure. I love that pickup right there. Good for you. That's not sarcasm. Next up, our good friend Justin from Raising Elm Comics. Speaking of Star Wars, happy weekend all. For this week's submission, I give you Star Wars Obi-Wan issue 1. LOL. That means laugh out loud. I don't hear you guys.
Whoa.
There you go. This, of course, is another book for Elijah's PC. Obi-Wan is such a revered character in the Star Wars lore, and this issue elaborates on his origin. It also mirrors the recent show on Disney Plus by explaining his time on Tatooine. It is also the first appearance of Nodris K and Garen. Not bad for a Walmart 3-pack issue. Damn straight. Hope you are all doing well, comic fam. It's so beautiful outside today, so we plan on grilling some steaks and chicken later. He sent a picture of those, and he should have sent us that food as well. Thanks a lot, Justin. Selfish. But that is a nice book to have right there. Moving on, we got me, my second fresh get of the week. What am I going to go with? I'm going to go with this. I got this in a dollar bin, guys. X-Men number 53, the first appearance of Onslaught.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, not bad for $1, right?
It's a good dollar fine, yeah.
Nice.
Absolutely.
It's in decent condition. It's in good condition. Like a press it, I think it would be really good condition. No color breaking spine ticks or anything like that. So yeah, I'm happy I found this. I haven't read this issue. I know who Onslaught is, but I don't think we're gonna see him on the big screen. I mean, that'd be a little maybe down the road. But first, let's get the X-Men, right?
Yeah, there would have to. You never know, Secret Wars, but probably
Wars
that could be much down the road, like 15, 20 years from now, because they have to establish, Professor X and Magneto and have them go out for a while.
Yeah. But could you make a video on that with that voice? Secret Wars, but I just need that like old Patrick Stewart voice the whole time.
Well, I don't think that's what he was. I think he was making fun of everybody saying that. Oh, this is going to happen in.
No, I get that, but that's what I need. I just need that voice. Like,
Can we hear it again?
It was like a Sean Connery meets like
The Rock.
It's like Assy McGee, if you've ever seen that show.
Listen, you are fucking talented, and I'm honored to be on the show with you. Did he really just fall?
My chair just broke.
Oh god.
I wish you drank so you can use that as an excuse. I thought he was angry. Oh my god, this is a first in comic book canon history.
Do you have a backup chair?
Oh my god.
Does the channel provide backup chairs for the host?
No, we have insurance. We have insurance for sure.
Oh my God.
It's insured, Joe. Don't worry about it.
Send them the bill.
What are we gonna do?
Oh, that makes sense. Last week, I found a screw. I leaned over to get my drink, and there was a screw on the ground.
Yeah, no. Oh
the
my
bottom
god.
of this chair.
Oh my goodness.
Yo, people are enjoying this. At least he had pants on.
Oh my goodness.
That's fantastic.
That's it.
Oh my god. Okay, Joe. We don't watch. Are you okay?
Oh, I'm good. I'm a little frazzled, but
Okay.
I'm good.
We're gonna. Will you allow me to continue on?
Oh, please do.
Okay. We'll go to the next book here, which
I'm gonna mute myself while I get my mic situated.
Yeah, it's Raw Dog Comics right here.
Ooh.
Look at this, right? Am I right? The Immortal Hulk, #1, fresh from the comic shop. I got this very fine edition, the Immortal Hulk #1. That's a sentence that goes in a circle. I started collecting comics again after this series already started, so I've decided to go back and get the rest of them. The Hulk has been my favorite superhero since I was a little kid and partly got me back into collecting comic books again. We are glad Comic Book Canada is back on Sundays. Thank you, sir. Fresh from the comic shop is our favorite segment. Thank you, sir. We also love the comic news. Have a great weekend ahead, everybody. And remember to collect what you love. Love this cover. This is a beautiful homage. This book it's set like the Hulk. Like the Hulk was written in a way he had never been written before. For about what 50 issues, gentlemen. So it's definitely a unique run. But that cover, man. I mean, come on, love it.
That is quite literally my favorite Marvel run of the last 10 years.
You love the horror too. Like, so this right up your alley.
For those of you who have never read it, imagine Hulk, Smart Hulk in a Twilight Zone universe.
Creepy as hell too.
It's so freaking good. Ali
It is.
Wing with Alex Ross art.
Yep. Oh my gosh. We take Alex Ross for granted because he's everywhere now. He does a ton of covers, but we really do. By the way, claim sale. Anyone need a slightly used chair? Drift Lord. Oh, that's good. That's good. All right, moving on. Jeff, we got your final fresh get of the week. What do you got?
So last night, so back with that Juggernaut, I had gotten 4 of these, right? So we're just gonna show this. Now that's the beer variant, right?
Yeah. I saw you post this.
Then he purchased all 4 of them late last night. Well, like middle of the day, I had to drive a little bit, a couple hours away. I got a call from one of my plugs, and we had 1, 2, 3.
Oh, geez.
4, 5, 6. Oh, geez. Let's just make the pile. 7, 8.
Would you look at this? Look at this. It keeps going. We stopped counting because it's too hard.
That's 12 copies. That's like
Oh
1.2% of the print run because there's estimated about 1,000. They were ordered to be destroyed. And these are all the beer.
I don't know if I heard. Where'd you get those?
I just have connections all over.
You don't have to. Don't disclose your connections.
One of my guys hit me up, was like, "Hey, dude, I have a bunch of these. Would you be interested?" And I bought the smaller collection with like the X-Men and some other stuff randomly threw in. And then Joe scooped those up. Right, I had 4 of them.
Yeah, I bought the original 4 from him.
Yeah.
Hey, wait a second. You haven't shipped them to me yet.
They're out. Actually, if I would have turned the camera, I have a whole table of everything that's just packed up right here.
I'm enjoying the video games in the background.
Excuse me. I have a few more too. I have a little arcade here. This is and then my other room is where I do all like my sorting and we hang out. So if you
his house, super sick. We gotta have another Comic Dunes barbecue.
You come by, barbecue, y'all cook, and host an episode here. Legit.
Oh, now that's an idea.
I'm just saying. So
that's an idea. I love that idea.
That's close. That's a good central point. Staten Island between me and you.
Oh, that's fantastic. Oh, we are marking that on the calendar. That'll be a special.
Oh man, I just doxed our guest host.
No, not yet.
I'm wearing a hat that tells you where exactly.
By the way,
I am.
I love how Mark Leneker pointed out that you got a 12-pack.
Oh yeah, I like that.
Yeah, fact. Okay,
it's random. So I got the call. And I'm looking forward. Apparently, there may or may not be more stuck in the collection somewhere. So we'll see how that works out.
That's great get right there, and I applaud you.
Thank you.
Literally. All right, moving on. Who do we have, guys? Who is next? We got Dan De La Torre. Look at this. He's getting creative. Every once in a while he surprises us. Here's my fresh from the comic shop. Tales of Suspense, number 48, the first true upgrade of the Iron Man armor. Not only was it a completely new armor, but used the red and gold colors for which is still recognizable today. I like this, Dan. Very well done, Dan. Very happy with you right there. All right. Mark Leneker, here we go, buddy. Fantastic Four 166 and 167 from 1976. Classic Bronze Age battle with the Hulk, Roy Thomas writer, covers by Rich Buckler. And Rich Buckler did 166. Jack Kirby did 167. And guest artist George Perez doing interiors. I did not know that. That's freaking awesome. Love it, love it, love it, love it. What do you got for your last fresh get of the week? Joseph.
Me.
Yeah, Joseph.
I'm just going to preface it. This book is huge. This book is like big one. Like I'm talking like literally physically a big one.
Yes.
This is a great story behind this.
That's amazing.
I actually have a sign on my front yard that says I buy comic books because it's got my phone number. So people can call me if they want to sell me comic books. I came home last week and there was a guy parked outside my house taking a picture of the sign. And I pulled up and I was like, I waved at him and he popped out of his car and he was like, hey, I live like around the corner. If you're free right now, I could go grab what I have and bring it back here. So this guy comes over and not only does he have this giant Superman coloring book from the 70s, 1978, he also gave me some comics that he had. I bought them, but he brought them over. Just a shoebox full of 70s stuff. And he also brought a picture of himself with Bruce Willis on the scene on the set for The Sixth Sense because he was Bruce Willis's stand-in in that movie and 4 other movies. Random as heck, but ended up with this giant Superman book.
That is absolutely incredible. People, I don't know why we're getting an echo here. Do you guys hear it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
But so you got that from Bruce Willis's stand-in.
Yeah, does anyone want to come over in color?
That thing is awesome. Yo,
do you have
depending on how you shot that would have won like on you being unique alone.
Oh, it's very unique. Yeah. 1978 with no pages colored in it. Like that's
I love that. That's
probably hard to find.
I don't know. Be curious to see if you're able to sell that.
Yeah, how much would that run?
I don't know. Let me do a quick eBay. Hold on.
Yo, $5 right now.
While you do that, we're gonna hit up Jim, Bronzeville Comics. Our last fresh get of the week, fresh from the comic shop. Submission of the week. Don't forget, I'm next though, guys. Bronzeville Comics, fresh from the comic shop. I'm looking at underappreciated 1980s DC keys. Here we have House of Mystery 290, the first appearance of I, a Vampire, Andrew Bennett. Could we have a DCU connection? Maybe Creature Commandos or Swamp Thing? A pricey key already in high grade, a $500 plus book in a 9.8. I love it. Oh. I know Joe probably loves it. Jeff, I'm not sure what your deal is with horror books.
I as far as the books go, I think they're undervalued, underappreciated. There's not enough people going after them, and the covers are really badass.
Yeah, that may change actually. Considering again, Werewolf by Night was incredible. I don't think that gets enough love in terms of the MCU special that they did. Yeah. Incredible, and I really hope they explore that corner of the universe as well. My voice just cracked. I'm so nervous.
Was intense.
Joe, do you have any data on that?
Yeah, I mean, there's one that is currently listed on eBay, best offer. $50 or best offer, but the pages are colored on it already.
Send it to CGC.
What if they got that and they're like, our proprietary slabs, no.
CAG tag would grade it, I think.
He'll grade it for me.
All right, so here's the deal, guys. Before I show my last fresh get of the week, Jeff, you have some algorithms to do or something like that. You got to figure something out here, but I'm going to give you my last fresh get of the week. This again was $1. Mark Leneker, I need your thoughts here on this. This was a $1 bin purchase. This is in great condition too, by the way. This is issue number 1 of, I'm not too familiar with this character, but I know about it. The Badger.
Oh, yeah.
It's interesting, right? Issue number 1, $1 bin book. It's not like a well-known property, but it's been around for quite a while from many different publishers. I think Dark Horse may have been the last one, but Image. This one is Capital Comics. I think the first comics as well. So, but this is the first appearance of the Badger, and it's an indie book. So I would love to know, anybody in the chat, especially Mark Leneker, your thoughts on that book. I just had to pick it up though. So that right there is my last fresh get of the week. Jeff, give us your 3 books that stand out the most, and then you're gonna have to pick a semifinalist from there.
So I like the art, the Nam art. I think that was a good pairing. I have a few pieces that I'd like to pair with the book. That's something that I'd like to do. So that one stuck out.
Okay.
I like the Obi-Wan book. That was a cool cover. I really like Obi-Wan. That was the second one, and then the third one for me was the Tales of Suspense with the Iron Man. I'm a sucker for action figures, and I like that picture. I like the setup, the Hulk Buster, and then that little '90s action figure really did it for me.
Okay, well, you have to decide between those 3. You're not off the hook yet.
I'm gonna go with the Tales of Suspense Iron Man. I like the
Dan
book.
De La Torre!
I like that book, man. Like you pointed out, like an updated suit that's pretty much the standard. Underrated, and that's like the norm for Iron Man suits now. So good call out, good book, and again, sold on the toys. So good book, good key, great toys. That's the winner for me.
Congratulations, Dan De La Torre. You are moving on to the semifinals, which will happen the first semifinals of March, which will happen this week. I cannot remember who we chose last week, but it's somebody special, just like Dan is special. You all are special. You all win participating trophies that Joe will mail you this week. They're really expensive too. But congratulations, Dan. Moving on to the semifinals. Holy shit, this was a successful show, Jeff. Like, I had no faith in you whatsoever.
Thank you. I have very little faith in myself, so
you pulled it together. Joe, he did it.
I thought we were literally gonna have to cancel the show because of this.
I thought we would get arrested.
Wow.
I had taken notes. I felt like John Madden. So look, I told you, we worked our way through it. We hit the hole. Circle gets to square. Boom. Tough acting, connecting.
Oh, I love that band.
The John Madden band? What do you think?
No, Circle takes the square. If you want to have like a screwdriver in your ear, listen to Circle Takes the Square. It's the most like bizarre, weird, noisy music. It's so good.
No, delightful. I like that.
Yeah.
Sounds wonderful. But Jeff, seriously, we can't thank you enough for being a part of the show. It was actually a good time. Again, another surprise I had. Once again, while we have these millions of people watching us all at once, just let's plug your thing, your business at Comic Dunes. Yeah. Guys, follow on Instagram on the Whatnot. You do the sales.
The IG world, the Facebook app, Comic Dunes. If you have the eBay, you hit me on the Comic Dunes shop. If you need $1 book or you need a $100,000 plus book, please hit me up. I have access to them all, and we'll make the sale. So tons of references.
On the internet.
You have an email too, probably. Yeah, I'll come to your house. If it's important enough, I'll hand deliver it.
That's beautiful. He's a beautiful man because he's got a great name.
One thing I want to mention that wasn't said, at least I don't think it was, Jeff is live on Whatnot almost every single day.
Yeah, ton.
Not only from his house, selling his own books, but he does this really cool thing where he travels around to different LCSs, even some in Pennsylvania where I live, Jersey where he lives, or New York where he lives, Jersey. You've gone up to New Hampshire?
New Hampshire.
Little Giant.
We did our first initial one at Little Giants. Yeah, so real quick, I know we're kind of wrapping it up too, but just to touch on that, there are a lot of LCSs that just don't really care to work in that space, and because Whatnot with all those influencers, they get a bad rep, right? But there are a lot of good reputable sellers on that app that have great books that sell you real comics with value, whether it's great read or actual financial value, and they don't try to take you to church. And there are a lot of people that I try to work with those guys. I also try to get to those LCSs that just don't have the ability to get out there, right? And it's been a tough couple of years, but the way that the market's evolving, you need to have that ability, and it'll generate a lot of extra revenue for these smaller companies, and it'll help keep them in business for, all the hardships that they have, whether people aren't picking it up or just lack of sales because some of the stories are lackluster, or maybe they put themselves in the hole because they were playing the variant game, right? So just try to be able to cook something up, right, for these shops, small or big. So thanks for dropping that off, Joe. I appreciate that.
Yeah, man.
Josh's Comics is giving you a prompt here, Joe.
Oh, Back Deck Comic Fest. Yeah. If you live within driving distance of my place, which is Philadelphia area, this Saturday, as of right now, we are still having Back Deck Comic Fest. Now there is a chance of rain, so keep yourself posted. Basically, just check my Instagram. I'll be posting that information, whether it's on or postponed. If we do have to postpone it due to the rain, it'll be moved to April, but let's hope for clear skies that day so we don't have to do that. And either way, 2 weeks after this coming weekend is King Con, and you can find both myself and that Jeff and maybe this Jeff. I've been trying to get him to maybe show up to King Con. So if you live in the tri-state area, if you will, come to Iselin, New Jersey for King Con on March 25th and 26th.
Good times had by all. Tonight was a good time as well. And again, I can't thank you enough. Jeff,
thank you guys.
If you have any parting words you would like to tell the guests, you are, after the show ends, you are an alumnus of Comic Book Canada, and I congratulate you on that.
I just want to get that jacket. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, it's in production.
I heard they're warm.
Yeah, they're varsity jackets. They're in production.
Inside of a tauntaun.
You literally carry a tauntaun on your back. It's dope. It's awesome. The design, you'll love it. Joseph, any final words before we end this show tonight? Go.
No, I need a new chair.
Yeah, you do. Everybody, we need a Kickstarter to raise that money for that new chair.
No, I have one in my basement. Just kidding. I've got another computer chair down in my basement. We're good.
Goodness. Okay, thank goodness. Again, we appreciate you all for tuning in, watching. Please like and subscribe. Again, we don't do this without you, so words can't express how much we do appreciate you. Again, crazy shit's going on in the world, but as long as you be kind to yourself and be kind to others, we'll get by, won't we? All right, love you all. We'll see you next week. Peace.